snacks.
Good move.
Hey, we live, y'all.
And of course we are. What it do? Snackers, snackettes, and snackexes. Your boy Gage in the house. I got jokes in the house.
Yo, yo.
I got Sin in the house.
Yes, sir.
Saying what you snacking on.
Brownie.
Okay.
Brown.
Got it. You sharing?
Nope.
Did you bring it up for the whole class?
Oh, for my squad? Yeah, I got y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's a little
All right,
different.
I'm just-
That's fine. Now,
Making
now I can
sure.
share. Now I can share my gummy bears with you.
Oh, my man. See? Look out.
Man. Oh man. Well, y'all ain't
That was
getting none of
my
my
favorite
crackers.
No,
What up,
sir.
Marcus?
I don't want none of your crackers.
Yes, you do. Welcome to Cutscenes. Cutscenes are
The best part of the game.
like a cold Colt 45.
Oh,
And
right.
this is where we get together once a week, talk about things that are happening in video games. And today,
Today.
today. So listen, last time we got together, we had to talk about the fact that Halo Infinite got delayed. Y'all remember talking about that?
Sure do.
A little bit. Yeah.
Everybody being like, "Oh man, the big Xbox and Microsoft launch title is gone. What we gonna do now?" And I remember I was just like, "Man, it doesn't really matter. Like there are really no good launch titles. There's nothing major.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody give me the pitch, the elevator pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's elevator
Fails.
pitch included Deathloop.
Nope.
But guess what? Deathloop got delayed. So Deathloop, which, you know, the first time we were introduced to Deathloop, we were not told that it was an exclusive. So I think it's a thing that happened after the first time we saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Deathloop is officially delayed until Q2 2021. But what that means to me is, at best, we're talking somewhere between May and July.
Mm-hmm.
And just like everything else, everybody who gives a delay now is like, you know, due to COVID and trying not to look, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. You're not 6 months behind. You're not 6 months behind because of COVID and just showed a trailer a month ago. Like, yeah, this joint is a launch title. It's coming out holiday. Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's something else that's happening. You know what I mean? With that game. And I got a lot of faith in Arcane. K-Sean, what's up, man? Hey, listen, man. Don't talk about how PS5 looking at me. I ain't worried about how PS5 looking at me. We ain't scared of them. They're going to shut me down in a minute.
Everybody
John.
call
I
me.
know it's coming. It's coming.
My feet getting compromised. Yeah. So, like, as cool as Deathloop looks, and I'm into the Arcane games. Like, I like their stuff. I wasn't like, oh man, well, gotta get a PS5 because Deathloop. And I don't know where y'all are on it, but I wasn't there. What I was on was, I'm pretty positive that joint is not anything more than a timed exclusive that they're just not telling us.
Agree.
And that joint will eventually come, and I'll be good when that happens.
Game Pass.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it could. I mean, look, the other Arcane stuff is in Game Pass or has been. You know what I'm saying? So it could be. So I'm gonna ask y'all to put on your thinking caps. You guys are Batman fans. Your greatest detective thinking caps, and tell me why you think this actually got delayed.
But it's not ready.
Yeah, that just plain and simple.
Hey, dog, is that? You know what? That's a very Batman answer. That's the best he probably would have done. It wasn't. It's not ready. There's no more to it than that. That's that. That's the world's greatest detective.
Not ready, and they're using COVID to kind of like
Buffer it.
soften it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, game delays now are just a normal. So it's like when it gets set, it's like, all right, cool, go ahead, polish, do whatever you need to do. Like most of these release dates now, it's like when you hear it, you're kind of just like, I don't know. especially when they show you like the first gameplay trailer, like first look into it, you look at it and you're just like, oh, I don't know, and that's just become like a thing now. Like I
or
get,
you know what?
and you know,
It could have something to do. It could have something to do with what B said, like with it, the whole exclusivity kind of thing that might have came after they showed us like the trailer and all that kind of stuff. Maybe how they got it to be exclusive plays into the having to push it back for some odd reason, like trying to negotiate with everybody and all that kind of stuff. That could have something to do with it.
possibly.
I mean,
I
it
don't know.
could, but you would think that if that was the case, that they would be working to push it up because it's an exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So unless, and this is where the conspiracy theorist in me starts to really dig into stuff.
I dig it.
You are right. All companies are using COVID as an excuse, and in some cases, it's a
Yeah.
valid excuse. I mean, I am saying, like, I'm not saying that
No.
it's not valid in some ways, but here's what I'm thinking. If you remember when Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is not a good name for that game, got delayed.
Mhm.
Part of the issue with that delay was that it also meant having to delay the Xbox version of it
Mhm.
because they had given them a 1-year exclusivity. So this could be strategic on Sony's part. They could be bumping it back on purpose. Sure, they're going to do some extra stuff on it and they'll add some more polish to it. But the thing about it is, second quarter of 2021, that's such a huge move. It's so much time. And that does so much in terms of what your shareholders and so forth are looking for, because you have a game that's supposed to come out fourth quarter of this year. And that means you're not going to hit your numbers. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's doing something to Bethesda's numbers. Right? So now that you're moving it into the second quarter of the next fiscal year, there's more to it than that, right? You can't tell me you just showed this game a month ago and you claimed it was going to be holiday launch title, PS5, this already COVID impacted year. And now you're moving it 6 months or more out of its original window. That doesn't make any sense. What does make sense to me is, you know what? If we push this back, whatever the deal is, if there's a timed exclusive, I guarantee you it's a year from whatever the actual release date is.
Yeah.
And that pushes it further out from being able to be pushed to Xbox.
In the
So
same
I
fiscal
think
year,
there's something
too.
else that's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they wouldn't get in the same fiscal year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it, it could be a smart move. But at the end of the day, I don't think that joint was going to sell systems.
Oh no.
No.
So as cool as it looks, I don't have that. That's not one of the games that I think people were like, oh man, when I get my PS5, I'm getting Deathloop. You know what I'm saying? I think people are like, I'm getting Madden, Call of Duty.
The typicals.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna get Spider-Man. Assuming that joint is actually a launch title, which we still don't know if that's actually the case.
And we may get okey
As
doke
of
with
right
that.
now, there are no actual launch titles for either console.
Nah.
Launch Windows.
Windows, but not yet. We have no official day one.
These some
We
wild
we don't
Windows
have- we
too.
don't have
Bring it
dates
home
yet.
with us. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have actual release dates, not unleaked release dates. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any official release dates. So you can't really bank on that. You know what? Let's talk about what is Apple doing, man? Apple and Epic going to war right
They
now.
are
Oh
at
yes.
it.
Yeah.
So look.
It's wild.
Well, I don't even know where to start. Yes, I do. Okay, look. After the whole Epic shenanigans. And let's just keep it a buck. Epic was pulling straight shenanigans last week. It's all shenanigans, bruh. Like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make our own store. We're going to bypass them legally. They already knew they was going to get in trouble for it. They knew the joint was going to get pulled from the App Store. They already had a trailer ready to run about it. They already had their lawyers ready to sue them for it. Like,
everybody on standby. Speed dial.
Straight shenanigans. You understand what I'm saying? This is a planned attack. Let's push some buttons. Let's make something happen. You know who we are? We Fortnite, baby. We about to get this. You know what I'm saying? Can't stop the coal train, baby. Can't stop the Fortnite train, baby. So they just went for it. And here's what's crazy. According to Epic, now, Apple is basically threatening to, beyond having removed Fortnite from the App Store, to cut off their dev tools.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want you to really think and understand what that means in terms of implications. And for Epic, they're like, this proves it. They're just they're jerks. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just, like, because none of the rest of this has anything to do with what's going on with Fortnite and that store and whatever.
Right.
Here's what you have to understand. If Apple cuts off Epic from the dev tools, what that means is that any game that is in the iOS store that uses Unreal Engine, which is Epic's engine, once Apple does an update, and you know they're going to, it will make it so that Unreal Engine games won't run, which is not uncommon. It's a normal thing. But the dev tools allow Epic to update the Unreal Engine so that everybody who is using Unreal Engine to make games that run on the App Store can update their games so that they will continue to run on the App Store. This is literally this right here, I don't know how hip-hop y'all are. I don't know if y'all are old enough for this to matter, but this right here is 50 Cent Ja Rule. You ain't making no money in here. I'm finna shut you down. I'm not letting you make no dollars. You understand what I'm saying? This isn't about rap. We not seeing who's the better rapper and this, that, and the third. You just ain't allowed to make no money. And that's what I'm doing to you. 50 just decided Ja Rule just can't make no money. That's what he did to him. And this is Apple being very, very 50 Cent.
Yeah, this is wild.
And Epic being very Ja Rule. Here's what's crazy about that. If Apple was to go through with this, I guarantee you that there are games that are part of their own subscription service in Apple Arcade that will be affected by this.
There is a massive amount of games that use the Unreal Engine, from AAA titles to cell phone titles. It's that big of a tool. Yeah.
The thing about it is, it's free. It didn't used to be free, but now it's free. So you make it free,
everybody,
way more people using it. You know what I'm saying? This is the kind of move that actually, it would definitely hurt Epic more than it would hurt Apple, but it definitely would hurt Apple in the long run.
Yeah.
Because the kind of games that you're touting for being a part of Apple Arcade are absolutely games that are running using Unreal Engine. You're trying to make it a big enough deal, like, yeah, you should buy an Xbox controller or a PlayStation 5 controller, connect them to your Apple TV, and take advantage of your Apple Arcade. These are those kind of games. You know what I'm saying?
It's wild because it's not just hurting Epic. It's hurting everybody else who uses that engine too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're not just taking shots at Epic.
But the point is, you can say Apple's the bad guy. But the question is, then does every single developer who is or has been using the Unreal Engine now in a place where they can't make any money, turning to Epic and going, hey, Slim, y'all better fix this. Y'all better go in there and take a bite of that half-eaten fruit and get things back running. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's that kind of a ploy. In the same way that basically Epic said, all right, here's what we're going to do. We about to get all the kids on our side. All the parents stuck at home with the kids. When them kids can't play Fortnite and they hot, and you put it in the game and hashtag free Fortnite and all that, you're basically trying to use a child army
Hey,
you're building an army.
hey.
Yeah.
to fight your battle for you against this big conglomerate. So the conglomerate is going, oh, okay, so then we're going to use all your developers against you to say, hey, man, y'all better go in there and talk to them and stop playing around, right? Because now you messing with our money. And if you mess with our money, you messing with your own money, because Epic doesn't get paid. With them giving Unreal Engine away for free, Epic doesn't get paid anything until after that those things cross a certain revenue stream in the first place. So now that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Now, could mean that a lot of these developers just say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm about to start talking to Microsoft and port this joint to Game Pass.
Hey.
Hey.
And make this money. I'm going to go over here, find another way to monetize it. We'll just take that game that was, unless you're in Apple Arcade and you're set up to be exclusive, you,
Yeah.
all right, that's cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this bread, I'm going to go over here to Microsoft until Epic decides to do something to piss
Play
them off too, because they take a 70-30, a 30-70 split. And so does PlayStation, right? You can run it on Steam. Apple is they got a huge part of the market. They don't own the whole market.
Right.
There are a lot of alternatives. This joint could go a lot of different directions. Now, when we talked about this a few days ago, Sen, you said it wasn't going to last a week.
Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. Yeah, apparently.
Sir, I was more wrong than you.
Apple's gonna fight. Yeah,
Sir, I was more wrong than you,
fight.
because I said it wasn't even going to last a week. So,
No, this gonna be a 12-round slugfest.
woo,
Yeah.
haymakers and all.
It might go to the cards. It might go to the cards. On
The lawyers, like,
Like you said, look,
Hey,
they both building their armies.
As an Apple platform guy, where are you on this? How does this make you feel, buddy?
like,
Can't do xCloud.
it,
Can't play Fortnite.
Fortnite I don't really care about. But, you know, it upsets me. Like, it does. Like, I understand, like, I partially understand. From a business standpoint, you know, you're trying to do something. You know, you want to have people focus on something that you have as a gaming thing going that's really dedicated to a certain group of people. Like, I totally get that. But at the same time, when you're going to alienate, like, droves of people, like, I even thought about at this point, Microsoft's actually going back into making phones again. And they have their little Surface Duo phone that's coming out. And I was kind of like,
Don't do it.
I'm not.
Listen,
If I would be
don't
going,
do it, bruh.
no,
You know who you talking to? You know who you
Look,
talking to?
I know you had
talking
them.
to the
You've
Windows
had
Phone
them.
guy, bruh.
Look,
For like a
his
decade, bruh.
Yeah, but
Strong. You know what I'm saying? Love them joints.
Samsung, like,
Don't do
it's starting to, like, I may go to Samsung because, like, I'm being super excited for xCloud. Like, xCloud is game changing. Like, to be able to play my games on my phone, and then
You say
know,
that joint's fire.
like, and it just upsets me that I'm alien. You know what? It'd be different if we knew that it didn't work. If it actually didn't work on iOS devices, that would be a completely different subject. But
Sure.
it's been in beta on iOS, and we know it works for those select group of people that got in there that are, well, not playing it now, but they've been in there and playing through it, and it works fine. So, like, it upsets me, and I've been Apple since the 3GS or 3G. I don't know. I had one of the very first ones that ever came. Yes, I've had an iPhone since the beginning. And this is really the first time that, you know, I'm really teetering on the fact of not getting another iPhone because of this. Now, we know the 12 will probably launch this year. And unless they do something
Yeah.
to change that, this will probably be the very first year. One, I will not do an upgrade and still think about going over to the Samsung side. I will. I may hold off for a little while on doing the upgrade because I'm always in that window to do it when it releases because I get them every single year, so I'm always in that
Right.
release window. But this will
Right.
probably be the first year that I will probably hold on to my upgrade and see how this train goes.
Um, Anthony, listen. I'm gonna tell you that my last two Android phones have been Samsungs, and I have found them to get buggy as they age. But outside of that, they've been pretty solid. Sin, I know you use Samsungs. You've been a Samsung dude.
No, I agree with you completely. I think they are the best, but they do get buggy as age comes around.
I think that's a standard.
They-
I
I
go.
mean, I think that's all
Yeah.
of them. I mean,
Yeah.
I look. I've messed around with Motorola's.
Hmm.
You know, with the actual droids. I've had LGs in the
Mhm.
past. You know, and there are a lot of different ones that do pretty well, and some of them just take to the software themselves pretty well. Everybody has their own software baked in on top of the Android software, and that can get a little tricky and a little quirky. Who has what and what can do what and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, I found that Samsung, I'm at least here is the leader. I think, as far as they're
Yeah.
concerned. So
You might know on
um,
Friday. Can't wait.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, look, I don't.
HTC Evo.
This
Holy
whole
crap.
thing with Apple. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I got a 3D Evo. I could reach it. I'm not gonna, but I can see it. Look, I'm this whole thing, man. I hear you. You want that XCloud? I think XCloud is a game changer.
Yes.
I really do. I think that if Apple doesn't have something planned up their sleeves to combat it, it's going to be an issue. And I think that Microsoft may still try to come up with some level of a workaround, being able to, I don't know, log in through Safari or something like that. Look, it's the same thing that Comixology had to do.
Mhm.
I remember that.
Which again, just another thing, just Apple kind of, wanting to have so much control, and eat so much of everybody else's pie, without really doing the work. So Comixology is just like, yeah, you can use the app to like log in, but then basically you go into a web browser to like actually buy your stuff and read them. And it's like, it's almost exactly the same thing as what Epic did. You know what I mean? Like you're basically going around Apple and not buying directly through the App Store because Apple wanted to take a share of every comic that they sold in Comixology. And so now it's like, all right, we have a workaround. But Apple still allows that to happen. And so part of the issue that Epic has, and the same thing with what Microsoft has, is that this attitude that Apple has seems to be geared specifically towards games and game manufacturers. And there are people trying to, because technically, like Netflix is a subscription service. You can use it on Apple. It's not really different. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of the movies that are in Netflix are rated by a ratings board. They have a ratings board, and you accept that. You're not going through and being like, well, every movie that's on Netflix, Apple got to check that joint out first and make sure that it has an Apple, you know what I'm saying, approval beforehand.
You got the guidelines to go from. Like, you have these ratings here. It's like, all you got to do is shift through them. I get it. Like, there's a very small amount out there, like, of adult-only games. I get it. You probably don't want those on there. But from your everyone up to your mature, like, you have those type of games in the App Store already. So, like, I don't know what it is Apple really is thinking. Because, like, let's be real. Microsoft, I know vets some of their stuff. Because I'm sure there's certain things they wouldn't want to have on their platform.
Of course.
So it's like,
I mean, the point is that doesn't even really matter, but so much, specifically because, again, the ESRB is doing the ratings for those games. So, like, if you're playing games and they're in there, and obviously, yeah, you want to have some control over what you allow to be in xCloud, so that you're dealing with some level of quality.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're talking about whether or not it's mature content or it's, you know what I mean, any of that kind of stuff, that none of that is the kind of thing that really is something that Apple should be concerned about. It is very much, again, like Sony saying, oh, we can't let people crossplay, because if we let people crossplay, we don't know what's happening with other people's internet. Like, we got to protect
You getting
our
hacked
Sony
already?
players. Shut up, dog. Like,
Dog.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, Apple wants their
What up, Kay?
microtransactions inside the other games. You know what I mean? That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want a percentage of that. That's why
Right.
they're coming to the games so hard.
That's exactly what it is. And it could take a chunk out of what you get in the Apple Arcade. It could. But, you know, I don't, I mean, I guess they are competing platforms for sure. But think about it, like, doesn't Apple have their own TV service and their own movies and their own, like, you know what I mean? Like, they have subscription service of their own for all of that stuff. And they have exclusive content that runs there too. So why is it you can do Amazon Prime and you can do Netflix and you can do Hulu and you can, you know what I mean? Like, other genres, like, don't seem to have to deal with it. Part of what Epic was saying when they did this was like, you can go into the Amazon app and shop on Amazon and make purchases through the Amazon app on the App Store, but Apple doesn't get any of that. It goes through Amazon. So literally what Epic did was they did the exact same thing that Amazon does. You go in and you buy, and they have their own setup where you're paying Amazon. You're not paying Apple. So I understand that they're like, well, hold on. We've been making all this money because Fortnite is such a big deal that now y'all trying to, you know what I'm saying? And basically, Apple's just like, well, yeah, we could do it through you, but you got to stop taking so much money.
Right.
And that means they got to do that with everybody. You know what I mean? Kay, Blake, I see you. Let's see. I've always had great results with my Samsung, but I moved on to the Pixel XL, now the Pixel S3. I actually love Google's native hardware. So listen, I was so close to getting a Pixel, and I'm going to tell you why I'm glad I didn't get a Pixel. Because one of the only reasons why I was even looking at a Pixel was because of Stadia. All right. But
Okay.
they get some really, really great reviews, man. And I really did. I really thought about it. But in the same way we talk about how you kind of get caught up in an ecosystem, I just really kind of like Samsung's ecosystem. And sometimes I make the mistake. I don't know about y'all, but I have like 10 email addresses. And you know how you go in and you save somebody's phone number to your phone or whatever, and it's like, all right, are you saving it to this email address? Or are you saving it to the Samsung account? Are you saving it to the... Man, I make the mistakes. It's just easier for me to do it all in Samsung, and that way it's all there.
Right.
I can tell you right now, I just switched phones, and my contact list is funky. It's funky right now. There's people in there like 3 times. I'm like, what? This, like, listen, Sin, you in my joint like 3 times. One is just your email address. One is just your old house address. One of them is your phone number. One got your phone number and your work number. Dog, I don't know, bruh. I don't know. And I'd be scared to go and erase them and miss something or mess.
You erase one,
whatever.
and then it just decides to take all of them along with it too.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
I try to use the voice joint to call you or to text you or whatever, and that joint. Listen, I hit your name. It was like, ain't nobody in here by that name. Shut up. I know who's in my joint. What you talking about? Lady, don't talk to me like that.
You're trying to go through all the different names too.
Y'all don't ever try to use your voice commands and get upset when they don't do.
Oh, most certainly.
Come on, man.
Let me tell
gosh.
you, I cuss my phone out on a regular basis.
My man.
I cuss her ass out all the time.
I be driving.
Feel my pain.
I be
bro.
driving. You know, you want to hear a certain song play, and you know, I go to ask, "Hey, play this song," and then it's completely something left field that I just don't even. Not even same genre. At least if you would have played like.
You don't speak clear English. She got to change to the British.
I have the one with the British lady. No, I have done that. I have done that.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you what. Hey, listen, I know this don't have nothing to do with no video game, but let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something. When I'm using my GPS, bruh, I feel like every other version of the voice that's on there, I feel like all of them are yelling at me when I'm supposed to be getting in another lane, dog. All of them joints.
Move
Except
over a
the
lane.
British lady, she's so calm and cool, you know. She just keeps me smooth. Like, I don't get lost. I just be like, all right, I got to get over here. It just feels like she's being calm and cool and collected, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I feel like every other joint is like they yelling at me. Like, remember when they had Mr. T on the Tom-Toms?
Oh my! What are you?
Turn left. Okay.
It feels so much less aggressive when they be like, get in the second to left lane to turn left immediately.
Okay,
Here.
okay. Let me okay.
But with the British man, the British lady, she just made me feel like, oh, okay,
Just-
yeah, I'm gonna get in that lane right there. It's just so calm.
Just to
It's
the
so
left
calm.
lane.
It's so cool, man. Like I just be thinking to myself, like I need somebody that I can just rent every now and again just to give people bad news. Just need somebody with that accent.
That'd be
You
dope.
know what I'm saying? Just to like straight up. Like I feel like we could start like a breakup service. And just be like, people could just call us and be like, yeah, I need to break up with my significant other. That's cool.
Okay.
Who you want? You want the British lady?
Want the British lady?
Got you. It's gonna be so smooth. It's gonna be so smooth.
Oh,
You
man.
get everything back, bro. It's gonna
The
be
British
cool.
package.
The British package, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Either you know what? You either have the lady or you have like James Bond or something like that that comes on this
Yeah,
guy.
just
Yeah.
smooth debonair. Listen, listen, just a little Australian. It's not working out.
Need this drink
Straight
shaken,
up.
not stirred. We need to have a
Hey,
conversation.
listen, everybody in the comments talking about their Alexas and they look Cookie Monster. Nah, bro.
Ooh, there's a cookie in the left lane. Get in the left lane.
Hey, look, the Cookie Monster be lying to me, dog. That man would just be like, "Hey, turn here, cookies. It's cookies."
There's cookies to the left. Cookies to the
Hey,
left.
dog, I'm not trying to get no cookies. I'm trying to get.
Wait, the place I need to go to is on the right, but there's cookies on the left.
Hey, real talk. Let me ask y'all another question. Do y'all ever actually play games? Like, if you have an Alexa or like a Google Home or whatever, y'all ever play games on that joint?
I don't have one, so no, I never.
Yo, Slim, listen.
I've
been
been
playing
I
games
know
on
I
that
can
joint.
do it.
Oh yeah, hey, listen. Just say to your joint. Just say, hey, I want to play a game, and they just give you a list of games you can play. That joint's tight. They have joints like where they'll just play like music from the '90s. You can try to guess. Like they'll play a snippet of the song, and basically it's like you get 10 points if you can guess the artist. You get 20 points if you guess the artist and the title of the song, and it just goes in around. You can say how many people you want to play. That joint clean. That joint's
I can do
clean.
that. We be fighting in this joint. I did that.
It's a couple joints like that, trivia joints, all of that. It's you know what I'm saying. You just put on like the '90s hip hop joint.
She be
Get out my
happy
way, bro.
to me right now.
Just get out of my way. All right, let's talk about video games again.
Sorry for the intermission. Now we're back with the main show.
Cutscenes, y'all, when we talk about video games once a week.
That was like the mini commercial break right there.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, look, Marvel's Avengers. So we all had a chance to play the beta. Jokes, you played 2 weekends in a row.
Mhm.
Seeing you and I jumped on Xbox this week, we had some trouble.
Oh yeah.
Oh
We had it was hell trying to get in. It was hell. It was hell
Now,
trying to
Jokes,
get
you
in.
didn't have no trouble getting in.
Had no trouble getting
Second
in.
go round.
Had no
All
trouble
right, so I don't
getting
want to talk to you no more. I hate you. You had some trouble, but your trouble
Yeah.
wasn't like my trouble. So what trouble did you have? Because your trouble was different from mine.
My trouble was once I got it, trying to figure out, okay, now where's the beta at? You know, everything I'm reading says,
Right.
oh, you're supposed to get an email after a while, yada yada yada. I'm like, all right,
That
cool.
was the curveball.
I'm checking my email, nothing's coming through. I go look online to find out what's going on. Everybody seems to be having this problem. The servers got flooded. They're backed up. They'll be sending out code shortly. Okay, I get that. Nothing's happening. I just start researching. Happen just decide, let me just search for the beta on the Xbox store. And I find it sitting right there. Like nobody said anything about having to go in and download it or nothing.
And that's
Right.
weird.
Yeah, nothing in when you go through the details in the store or nothing I saw online saying that
Nothing
you had to
said
go
that.
look for it in the store and download it separately.
Now, I will
So
tell you
I-
this. I will tell you this. When I put my code in and redeemed it, when it downloaded, the one thing it did do that was weird, there was no image in the beta spot. And literally, it stayed like that for a little while. So I was kind of like,
Mine comes and goes.
Go-
Sometimes
yeah,
when I go look
so-
at it, it's the picture. Sometimes it's just gray.
it's just great. So I was a little weirded by that, but still, once like later in the night, because the thing was, I didn't get my code until like 5 or 6 o'clock. Was that Friday? Friday when the beta launched, I didn't get it until like 5 or 6 o'clock. So I pre-ordered, but I pre-ordered a physical one because I got the collector's edition. So
But see, that right there in and of itself is the difference. You
Yeah.
ordered a physical copy,
I get it.
and they
You
gave
got
you
it.
a code.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
ordered digitally.
Digitally.
If you went into the store and pre-ordered it, I was starting to feel like I got. Went into the store and pre-ordered it,
Mm-hmm.
and it says in there, pre-order now for
Early
instant access to the beta.
Yeah.
Right? Like it didn't say you got to go somewhere else and download something. And so normally when something like that happens, they'll still send you a code. Like I'll get a message in Xbox Live that says thank you for pre-ordering, blah blah blah. Here's your code,
your extra
and
whatever.
you just hit the button and it'll let you download it.
Yeah, that's
Nothing.
what made me decide to look for it. Because when I was looking online, and it was like, yeah, if you got the digital version, you should just be able to start playing.
Just jump right into
Exactly.
it.
Well, I just look for it, see if it's in the store somewhere and showing up. It was just right there. Like, well, okay,
Right.
damn.
Right.
Mhm.
Crazy. Yeah.
Right. Your situation was similar to mine because I went through the same thing. The difference is that because I am in the Xbox Alpha upgrade program, my Xbox updated again today.
Yeah, mine's because I am too.
I don't know what it did, but I have the new store, and I know they
Same
haven't
here.
rolled the new store
Yeah, I
out
have
to
it too.
everybody. You do now, but you didn't before. Well, maybe you did because you got a code. So here's the thing: with the new store would not register that I owned the pre-order for the game.
Oh.
So initially I went through the same thing that Sin went through, where it was just like, all right, where's the joint? I'm thinking when you pre-order it, that is the joint. Like they just gonna let you, they just opening a section of the joint, just letting you play it. I'm trying to play. They keep telling me I'm trying to play too early. I'm like, well, I know.
Mhm.
Then I finally looked it up, went to the website, and it was like, well, the beta doesn't go live until 9 p.m. So I was like, all right, it's like 8:30. I'll try it again. I tried it again at midnight and got nothing. I was like, this joint's tripping. So started doing more research and basically came up with the same thing that Sin did. Like, you're supposed to just be able to get it. So then when he told me that he actually had to go in and find it somewhere separate, mind you, I definitely searched for the beta and couldn't find it. Searched again, found it. Because the new store, for whatever reason, wasn't linking the two. It wasn't allowed. It like didn't see that like I owned it. So like when he went to it and found the beta in the store, it actually just gave him an option to install. Said he owned it and gave him the option to install it. Mine wasn't doing that. It was saying I didn't have it. So I'm like, something's not right. I actually had to disconnect my hard drive from my updated Xbox One X and plug that joint in to my youngest daughter's, her Xbox One S, and go into the store there. And when I logged in to her joint and went to the store, it immediately said that I had it and I had access to it and I was able to download it. So I actually had to hook my hard drive up to her Xbox,
box.
download it there, and then after I downloaded it, then come back over and connect it to my Xbox, my One X, in order to be able to play it, to see
I
it.
ended up doing that, and that might have been an issue with mine thinking about it, because I downloaded originally on my older one that sits in the living room now. Then I brought it in here just in case you wanted to stream. So let me download it here. And I tried to just come download it here, and I couldn't do it. I had to copy it onto my hard drive out there and bring it in here and put it on it that way.
Yeah, it's something funky with the store, so I had to send them a thing that's like, hey, this thing ain't working right.
Fix
You know what I'm
this.
saying? Like, this is the problem. Y'all need to get this squared away, because this store is supposed to be so much better and so much nicer and so much faster and whatever. So yeah, I finally got it, and then I started playing it before, because I knew I was going to have to get through the single player stuff before we could jump into the multiplayer stuff. So I started playing it before it finished downloading, because, you know, it'll tell you it's ready. So I played through the first part of it, and then it was like, you can't play any further. So I was like, all right, whatever. I stopped playing, let it finish downloading. Once it finished downloading, I then took the hard drive, moved it over to my One X, and the joint wouldn't let me play. Like, it kept saying it was trying to sync information, like it needed more information or whatever. And I finally realized, because when the next day I came back, tried it, went to play it, it looked incredible by comparison. You're right. Per reminder, the new store is a lot better.
Yeah.
It's way faster. And realized how much better it looked on the One X, on the 4K TV, and realized that the reason why that was an issue was because when I initially hooked it up and downloaded it, didn't download those additional 4K assets that I needed to be able to play it. So I basically had to wait for that to go through so that I could run it. As a whole, having had the opportunity to play, we played very little together as a 3-person squad, What are your overall impressions? What are you thinking right now? Do you feel it? Did you get got for the beta? Are you gonna play this? What's going on?
No, I'm gonna play it. I think it's exactly honestly what I thought. It's cool. Like just for a starting point of something they're trying to build and grow to last however long. Like it's cool right now. All the characters I don't mess with. Maybe I'll learn over time as you're trying to put your squad together and somebody may be using a character that you have and you can't use them. Maybe over time. But overall, I feel like it's cool. Like I don't think it's super all this stuff like they're hyping it up to be, but I think it's a good starting point for what they're trying to do with it here.
Okay. Jokes?
I enjoyed the beta. Like, kind of like what Sen said. Like, nothing.
We're talking about Marvel's Avengers, the Marvel's Avengers beta.
So I wouldn't say by all means nothing revolutionary by all means, but definitely when you play a certain characters, like it feels good in your hands when you actually play. So me personally, like good example, like just playing with Thor for the first only like 5 minutes maybe. I think Thor probably plays one of the best out of all the characters. Personally, I'm not a fan of Iron Man as much, and maybe that's just a little bit more of used to getting used to the flying mechanics and all that. But as of right now, he's at the bottom of my list. But definitely, I like it. The only small little thing that in this maybe like a personal thing, this may not be like. I like the fact that you have the same, in a sense, the same type of customization like you would have like in Destiny with the different parts that you can actually upgrade and put on. But they don't necessarily change your appearance. Like, it's just, oh, hey, you're going to put on different gauntlets that give you plus this buff or whatnot ever. But it doesn't change, like, the appearance or anything like that. I thought that would have been pretty cool. Like, especially with certain characters. Like, take, like, an Iron Man, for example. And being able to, like, put on different parts of different armor sets or whatnot ever to kind of make your own thing. But I guess just for the fact they don't maybe want to go down that route of making... an infinite amount of different style things. It's a little small tidbit. But otherwise, the beta itself, though, I flat enjoyed it. I'm good with it. I'm just expecting a little bit more out of the full release from the game.
So I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm a little disappointed. And I'm going to tell you why. I think the game looks good. I'm not, as far as the single player stuff is concerned, I'm not a huge fan of it feels very, very scripted. At least that first playthrough in the beginning, you're playing on the bridge, it's so scripted that it doesn't really let you feel like you're playing as them. Like, they all feel a little bit different, the way they control definitely. And so forth. And like, Iron Man is cool in that open setting where you're flying around, but like then when you do like the harm forces or whatever, it's so trapped in it. Like, really, who wants to walk around as Iron Man? You want to fly and shoot people or whatever, and it just feels so, closed in. I bang with Miss Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's cool. Smooth. I like her. Oh yeah. Post cool. My biggest issue is there's no lock on. Like, outside of when you hit the trigger to actually, like, you're gonna throw something at somebody or you're specifically shooting, like, a game like that has enemies that surround you and are everywhere needs to do a better job of it has like a little thing that lets you know that somebody's attacking you from behind. I can tell you right now that is specifically stolen directly from God of War. From PlayStation 4. And that is because the person that they brought in to design Thor is the same person who designed the combat for God of War. And so, but it doesn't feel good to actually be in the middle of a fight and attack one. Like, there's nothing that directs your character, so when you swing, you're actually swinging at that character. Like, you can be
have that problem as much. Like, I know that little lock on is there. Like, I know it can be better. I definitely will agree with it. It can be better.
What lock on is there?
So when I click in the right joystick, it does lock on to an enemy. Now, for me, when I beat an enemy, it did move, but it wasn't as consistent as what I think it should have been.
Right. It's again, it's a beta. So not opportunity. This game is coming out in like 2 weeks, though. Let's keep it real. So, like, it ain't gonna be but so much changing that happens between now and then, right? But if you, I mean, again, I like the idea that I don't really like all the characters. I don't want to like all the characters because I don't want to feel like I need to use everybody and necessarily upgrade everybody and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm cool with that. Let something else, pop off. Ellis, leave me alone. What's up, child? What are you doing in my chat?
I mean, you technically web sling with Black Widow a little bit.
Black Widow is the web slinger, and I guess Black Widow is a spider, so I guess they.
Hey, I guess it works.
So here's what I want to do. We have our overall impressions, but we had some leaks, bro. Them data biters got up in there this weekend.
Woo, those
so let's run it down. 15 additional characters, and I'm gonna run down what characters they found in the data mine. Are y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Talk about it.
Ant-Man.
Okay.
And hold on. Actually, before I go too far, apparently Hank Pym is already in the game or is tied into the game somewhere, and this is not that Ant-Man. This is apparently going to be Scott Lang.
Okay.
Ant-Man.
Bet.
Okay. Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Falcon, Kate Bishop. Now, we already have Hawkeye, but we're also getting Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Just hold on to that for a second.
I have a thought.
Marvel. We already have Captain Marvel. We're getting Marvel. Just hold on to that for me for a second. Mockingbird, Quake. All right.
I see what you're doing.
Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk, Vision, War Machine, Wasp, Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
First and foremost, what do we think of this lineup?
That's a pretty solid lineup.
I'm good with it. It could have Moon Knight, but he'll come next time around.
Hey, Jokes. Hey, you can turn off his feed, right?
Turn it off. Go ahead, kick him out.
His feed. Shut him down. Get him out of here, son. Now, I'm going to tell you what. In the list, I've seen this list in multiple places. Of all places, I saw it on Forbes.
Wow.
Forbes actually had the Hulkbuster listed as a data mine character.
It's a
separate.
movie.
It's a special. I do know that.
It's a special movie, yeah.
I know it is. However, there is a secret to it. It is Iron Man special. But you can call it down for other people.
Whoa.
Do the research.
Whoa.
So there are secret joints that are in the game, and one of the things you can do is, as Iron Man, you can actually call the Hulkbuster down and just call it down by itself, and then somebody else who's playing with you can actually jump in the Hulkbuster and use it.
That's kind of cool.
That's fine.
That is kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
He'll be a CPU character.
Hey, listen. Now, I'm looking at these. I'm looking at what I see in the chat. Quake may be coming to the next Avengers movie and all that. I don't know. But how much of what you're seeing in this lineup do you feel like is speaking to what is going to happen MCU wise?
All of it.
Oh no, all of it. Like we got pretty much everybody that is involved within in-game. Major players are there.
People that are coming in the future that we already know of, a la She-Hulk, and who's somebody else they said?
Winter Soldier. I mean, well, granted, like everybody, the only person I think was missing out of the lineup that would be from the whole MCU would be Loki. I think that would be the only one that would be the missing. Now, granted, Loki. I mean,
probably had to fight him or something at some point.
Hey, I'm cool with that. He'd be the only person that's really a missing person. But other than that, it's all MCU. Now maybe we'll get like skins of like some of the MCU outfits or something like that. Obviously, we ain't gonna see like Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. like their actual character in their version of the character in the game. But we may get like certain skins that represent the actual movie versions of some of their outfits and everything, which would be kind of cool.
All right, well, look. Mockingbird and Quake are probably the big standouts here that are not currently Quake is technically MCU because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is MCU.
Absolutely.
So Quake is technically MCU. Mockingbird also was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That is technically MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So right now, everybody who's on this list, with the exception of your man Moon Knight,
Right.
Probably want that Shia LaBeouf.
stop it, bruh. So here's what I want to know. How do you think this plays out? 15 characters. All the characters are supposed to be free,
Mm-hmm.
right? What is the time frame for when and how they dole these out? 15 characters is
It's a nice.
a year and 3 months.
Decent number right there.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the next 3 months. So the game comes out in September.
Mm-hmm.
So you got October, November, December. So that's 3.
Oh.
And then you have 12 more. If they do one character a month from release through the end of next year,
It's not bad.
that's 15.
I mean, shoot.
So does that mean you think this is all we're getting?
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh no. This is just like their season 1, like season 1 through 3 or something like that. However they plan to set it up and line it up. I think these are the ones that have planned like at the moment that are probably already in the tuck, ready to go.
I think we'll
So-
probably get some of them together. Like depending on, like, say, I know, take Hawkeye. We know we're gonna get him with his own story or whatnot ever. I don't.
Right.
I think. I mean, the 1 a month thing. I think that idea actually sounds pretty solid. But I think for a few of them, I think we probably get them together. Like, say, like for example,
Yeah.
Wanda and Vision. I almost want to think like when the show actually airs on Disney Plus, I feel like that may be like a nice
The
drop
same
for that
weekend they
same
drop.
time to give like, hey, WandaVision just dropped, and you know what else we gonna do? We dropping WandaVision into the game. Go ahead and check it out after you go watch Disney Plus or whatnot ever.
I mean, while you are right, I think the easiest thing for them to do would be to drop skins that
And that's what I
are
was,
outfits or something like that. And here's part of why I say that. Because right now, and I saw that, like, Ellis said something about that, it being time. I do want to, Ty, I need to address this for a second. Rocksteady set the standard for superhero video games. You can't have a scripted superhero game and succeed anymore. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that that's true. We'll see what happens with this Suicide Squad joint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait.
But I think that this game is going to succeed in,
Oh, no,
in some
definitely.
realm. And
I'm gonna succeed.
And this is, I mean, DC Universe is still a thing. For whatever reason. Still a thing.
People love
And
it.
there's a lot of script to it. MMO style, this isn't quite that, but it's touching on some of those points. I think, like Ellis said the same thing, they'll time this with the Disney releases. And while that does make sense, I think the Disney releases are thrown so far off.
Yeah, that's the one. I like that idea. I think that's
what it would have been.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's absolutely what it would have been. This game to me was time to come out and put, again, because you start this game off, you play through it, you get that epic battle at the end of the bridge with Black Widow and Taskmaster, and nobody cares about Taskmaster yet
That was the lineup with Black
because
Widow
the
coming
movie's
out.
not
Yeah.
out. But if the movie was out, people be like, "Oh, Taskmaster, Slim is a threat." You understand what I'm saying? All of that is kind of thrown off now. Could we get it back on track by just, dropping a premium $30 Mulan? Y'all better come get this joint. Absolutely. We could get things back on track. But we're still off track as far as filming is concerned. You know what I mean? And actually
Right.
completing the films so that they can put them out at the same timeline. So all of that is off right now. And I think that if nothing else, they could release these characters with a steady cadence. Even if they say once a quarter we're going to drop a pack
Mm-hmm.
that has 5 characters in it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Something like that, right?
Mhm.
But then to actually make money off of it, here's these skins that you can buy.
Right. Mhm.
Because all the characters are coming for free. So here's the skins that you can buy. Yep, such and such is coming out. We got WandaVision coming out. Here's the outfits from that. If you want to, you know what I'm saying, get those characters or whatever. I think that could make some serious sense. Here's the other question I have, though. Who's missing? Who should be in this list that's not in this list? Who else do you want to see? Oof.
Blade could be interesting.
That'd be
Okay.
cool.
And look, and he is somebody that they said they are bringing at some point into the MCU.
Right. But let me just make this point really quickly. I actually heard some people complaining, and this was one of those things where this is the kind of thing where you wish you could like jump in, like grab somebody through a podcast or whatever. Like,
Just choking.
Right.
this is just like Marvel versus Capcom, and Marvel, Disney wouldn't let them put the X-Men in it. Shut up, Slim. This joint is called Marvel's Avengers. The X-Men are not supposed to be in this joint.
Yeah.
Shut up, Slim.
Hey, and don't get
what
me
are you
wrong.
talking about?
That'd be
and don't get me wrong.
That'd be
Wolverine is
That's
a
what-
main. He's been an
He's
Avenger.
been-
So, you know what I mean? Like time. So there are some characters.
That was-
I don't know
He's
about
one of those,
Blade being an Avenger though.
I don't think
not a
he's
thing
never
that, like,
he's never actually been an event. I think he's partnered with I think a good amount of them just in individual
who
sets.
hasn't? I mean, yeah.
True, but I don't know if you would. I don't know if Blade would be an Avenger. I don't know. Hey, whatever.
I mean, look, if every character is getting their own individual story stuff, kind of like Hawkeye is, this could be very interesting and give you a lot to play. Come on, man. Where's Coulson, man?
Man, throw some respect on
Where's Nick
Coulson.
Fury, bruh?
Supposedly,
Yeah.
Fury is, I guess, quote unquote dead, but
One of them Furies.
but we've seen how that played out in Winter Soldier. So
They might end up using Fury like they're using like Hank Pym in it, like somebody you go to give missions and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
When he pops up, they'll probably use him for that.
Right.
I could agree.
Who is missing from this
I'm
roster?
trying to think. I mean,
I think it's a pretty solid roster.
I was very solid.
I don't feel like there's anybody missing.
like you said,
I see you with that, Tony. Ghost Rider because he was an Agent of Shield, and that
ooh,
was
that
epic. That was one of the
Hey.
best.
oh.
Bruh.
I was so
They did
upset
that
when
joint.
they was like, yeah, the budget we can't keep doing this. We gotta take my man out. I was that whole season,
let him
no pun intended, was fire. That whole season was fire with him in there.
Hey, dog, you
No,
can
bro.
shut your own feed off and keep us in?
I'll just shut the whole thing off then.
What about Nova?
I mean,
I think-
listen. Nova could be a solid, could be solid. I don't know what they're going to do with Nova.
That
I mean,
is
obviously,
in-
the Nova Corps exists
And that is just in
Punisher
in the
Guardians.
MCU.
Like you got the whole Guardians that you could go through and possibly do, and that could be its
You
own
could, but
separate
again,
thing.
they're not Avengers.
Right, they're not technically Avengers. Like, I mean, all of them would make great, like, additional story add-on. Maybe they don't become playable characters, but you
That's
know,
why they
maybe
did what they did with Ultimate Alliance.
yeah, and maybe you can just go
Was
do
garbage,
these,
by the way.
and you can go do some of those stories on there. Like, even if they don't necessarily put like the X-Men as playable characters, but say maybe they tried to do like an Avengers versus X-Men storyline within the actual Avengers game. That'd be kind of interesting.
Oh, it would be very interesting.
That could be
They're not gonna
interesting.
do that.
I know they're not. Like,
They're not
look,
going to do that.
I'm swinging. Like, I'm swinging, but
Oh, yeah. You tend to do so.
I love the
You
swing.
like air, bruh.
Hey.
You punch air quite often. I mean, look, I'm. So here's what I don't see: Young Avengers. Cassie Lang, like Kate Bishop's there, but Cassie could certainly end up being a character they add in here, right?
Mhm.
Hulkling could be here, but again, now you're beginning to just because, like, how much different is She-Hulk going to be from Hulk for real? How much different is Kate Bishop going to be from Hawkeye for real? I think a lot of that, though, is like, if you really like Hawkeye, you can't play multiplayer if somebody else is using Hawkeye.
Here's a
So
quick-
if, you know, Kate Bishop is, I'm positive, going to have some other options, stuff like that. Hey, Hercules is a stretch. Stop playing around, Marcus. Get out of here. We're not doing that. I could see maybe
Sentinel?
them being willing to pull in like Lady Sif. You know what I'm saying? Or Valkyrie. You know what I mean? Since they were in the Thor.
I can see him doing a Valkyrie.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I take a Shuri. You know what I mean? Like, Shuri could be cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually think people, if they slice her right, I think people will go 8 if Shuri was available.
I already tell Black
Yeah,
Panther
I
be a
mean,
problem.
this lineup is
It's a good
that's a
lineup.
pretty solid lineup.
It's a good lineup. Yeah.
Sure. Agent Venom will take in a heartbeat by comparison. Yeah, I mean, right now, I think based on what's here, you have enough to make this last through a solid year.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it continues to do well, even if you don't add any more characters beyond this, you could do a part 2.
Okay.
Which is probably what I'm thinking they're aiming for. Because right now, they've got to make money off of skins.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or something like that. XP boosts. Something.
Obviously, let the MCU get further ahead so they can see what characters they want to bring into a sequel.
Right.
And
Because Shang-Chi
Oh yeah.
could be...
Yep.
A lot of
Eternals.
Whew.
Yep.
They could be. But again,
Ooh.
they're not Avengers.
And there's no Guardians. Well, yeah, that's right.
Well, it
Avengers.
said that, but they're not.
My brain keeps going to MCU and not just
Exactly.
Avengers.
Exactly. That's the thing I feel like is the trickiest about it. I mean, you got to wonder, like, how different is War Machine really going to be from Iron Man?
Right.
And is it really just because a lot of these characters are just doubling up other characters that have very similar movesets, with the exception of like Scarlet Witch and maybe Vision.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to find out how
Winter Soldier and Cap gonna be basically the same.
Hey, if somehow, like, if 2 of us, one person pick Cap, one person pick Winter Soldier, and we could have some of those team up type moves in there.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, listen, you're right. If they'd have put the Avengers or any of them in the Kingdom Hearts game, that Kingdom Hearts joint would have sold better and been better. The Kingdom Hearts 3 was not.
Still haven't finished it.
I was disappointed. You won't finish it either. You're not gonna.
I haven't got past the tutorial.
I did get past the tutorial. I think I got through the first world, and then I kind of said to myself, I don't really know what's going on.
I popped it in, beat up a couple dudes, cut it off.
Yeah,
I streamed a little bit. I streamed for a couple hours, and then I just got
that might have been the biggest waste of money I spent on a game in recent years. Was Kingdom Hearts 3.
It was hype.
Eventually,
I know a lot of people loved it. If you all into it and you play like 2.815 Reflux Edition HD.
Oh God.
You know, Murder at 1600. I don't. You know, like if you play that joint, then okay.
Yeah.
And you all into it, that's cool. But I can't. Yeah, I'm not. Nah.
I was going on those, then I got tired. I was like, you know what? I went to YouTube and just, all right, somebody just break all this down to me so I can just start 3.
Right.
And you still didn't understand what was going on, and that's the other issue with that joint.
No, it was still just as confusing. But
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just let it go.
Hey, you know what? I feel you. We had a conversation about cliffhangers yesterday and how terrible they can be. And if the cliffhanger at the end of 3 sold it for you, my man, listen, I'm 100%. To each their absolute own.
I may just go watch the
wish I would. I really wanted to. I tried. Like, I really wanted to like that game. Like, a lot. I wanted to like it. And it's cool. But, like, I bought that joint. I was like, I'm going to sit down with my daughter. This is going to be it. We're going to sit down. We're going to play Kingdom Hearts. And I'm going to straight up, we going straight into Final Fantasy. We about to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nah, bruh. Nah, bro, we got the like Toy Story joint, and she was like,
I ain't even made it that
far. And I was like,
far.
what do you mean? And then she was like, I mean, I never seen Toy Story 1 or 2.
Oh yeah, I remember
or 3. And I was like,
he was like, you failed.
I failed. Oh, I'm a terrible parent, yeah. Terrible, dog.
Save this game right now. We got to start watching some movies.
Yeah, like we need. Yeah,
get Kingdom Hearts. We need to watch these Toy Stories.
You know what? But their attention spans are so short. They can't sit through a thing, bruh. It's like that's why like so many TV shows now are so good for them, because they just be like little 11-minute bite-sized joints. You know what I'm saying? They start, middle, end, commercial break, start, middle, end, done. You know what I mean? Like. And it works so well. Listen. Wait, James Bond. I don't know what you're talking about, Buck, but what up? Welcome to the chat.
I saw that. I saw something about Bond, and I kind of was like,
Did I miss something?
Now listen. Here's what's
Bond's
getting
an
ready to
Avenger?
happen. Y'all see this? Y'all see this Kingdom Hearts 3 jibber jabber starting to pop off in the joint? You have no idea what's being talked about. And if you understand it, then that's great. I can't do it. I tried. You know what I'm saying? And
I will say the intro to Kingdom Hearts 3 was fire.
Oh, the opening's fire. The opening's fire. I'm cool with that.
And the special moves, fire, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Disney rides, and like it's fire. The summons, fire. It's cool. It's like, but actually playing the game didn't feel good to me. It felt like I was playing a PS2 game. That was the issue. It didn't feel like they updated it. You know what I mean? Like to really, the graphics were updated. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. But like the gameplay, I feel like they didn't evolve the gameplay. Which, in terms of what Marvel's Avengers is, that's probably my biggest issue. I feel like the gameplay is not quite tight enough. It's not tweaked to be quite tight enough. Because it's a beat 'em up. Like for real. Like, if you really think about it, Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 feel better to play. They feel better to fight, to play, to attack, to do special moves. Like, they feel better than this does. And that's... I don't have anything else to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not that good, you're behind the 8 ball. Also... especially with this kind of a lineup, I'm really looking for those very Ultimate Alliance, like, put these 4 people on a team and get some kind of a boost.
Buffs or something, yeah.
I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
I need that. You know, like I'm all about that. So give me Captain America and Falcon and Winter Soldier and one more. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get a squad. Let me get Black Widow, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Mockingbird, or Quake, or Scarlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get a Femme Fatale joint and just and get some kind of a boost so I can run with it. You right, Kay? It should have been on PS3, and that's why I felt so old. It took me way too long to finish that joint.
Way too long.
Yeah.
Way too long to finish that joint. So yeah, it just didn't quite work out for me the way I wanted it to. But I think this game has a lot of potential.
Agreed.
I really do.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that if they can do enough to keep people coming back and give people enough to play, like the loot isn't quite gonna be enough for me because I don't like the loot system enough. Like what you were talking about, jokes with like you like being able to upgrade them or whatever. Like when I'm playing with the Hulk and you're telling me that like I'm upgrading his bones,
I get that.
Like in his wrist,
I get that.
or whatever. Like that's not doing anything for me.
That.
I'm upgrading and I don't get to look cool doing it. Like I'm very much one of them people. I'm old school RPG. Like I'm hyped.
give me the difference.
When I play an RPG and when I walk into a store and buy new armor and the new armor is on my character, I'm hype, bruh.
Yeah,
you know, like I'm buying that. Listen, I'm buying that armor because it looks dope, even if it don't have all the stats I want. Like, let me finagle this joint. You understand what I'm saying? So like, I'm that person, and that is real talk. One of the best things about Destiny, and y'all know how I feel about Destiny. That is one of the best things about Destiny is like, you can't even see your character, bruh. It's a first-person shooter. You can see their hands. That's why I was so amped the first time them gauntlets came out that had like the glowing. I was like, yeah, because that's all I could see. I'm not taking these off. I'm a legend. They legendary. Yeah, who wants to run around the tower all day? That's not the fun part.
You want to be out there throwing the hands and shooting everybody. You still want to be able to see your parts.
So in this game where you are being directly compared to a game like Destiny, as far as being able to get a squad together and go out and grab stuff to get loot and whatever, where you can actually see the characters. Having stuff like that that's upgradable and not being able to see it on your character, it feels like such a misstep, bruh.
It was.
It was like a
does.
cop out.
Because
It was
I
like they
was
didn't.
looking for it when I first started. You know, I go to put, all right, we go put this new wrist.
That's what I was thinking. And it was
and I
like,
kept looking like it's not changing. Am I missing something?
Nope.
Am I like,
nope.
did the edible kick in yet or something? Am I just tripping? Like I can't.
Oh man.
It's not changing.
Oh, man. Yeah, especially like with Kamala when you put the extra lightning bolt. I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna get a different type of lightning bolt or something on here on my shirt.
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
and of all people, like Tony Stark, you know, you're thinking, let me put on this different type of armor, Mark 1, Mark 5, Mark 20. Like, I'd have been cool with. Just think about if you had to collect all the parts of Iron Man, like the grind that it would have been to get all of like his suits.
I lost some Diablo type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Go find the Mark IV gauntlets. And then when you get them all the pieces together, you know, you get that bonus.
And then you get that bonus buff.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. That's Diablo does that. Like, you could play Diablo, and every time you get a new hat, helmet, gauntlet, you know what I'm saying? Like, it shows up on your character. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's 2020. It's the worst year we ever had, and still,
Yeah,
like,
Kay
you're
got
so
it on
far
the point.
behind.
Kay was like definitely one of the more enjoyable parts of Injustice. Yeah, I definitely went in. Supergirl was like my main on Injustice, so like I had like I grinded out her gear ridiculously.
Which again, just to kind of pick on Ty again, real quick. I'm gonna just jump out there and say NetherRealm got the story, the superhero story joint on lock. I don't think Rocksteady got that joint. I think NetherRealm got that joint on lock, straight up. Injustice 1 and 2, some of the like, bruh, them joints pound for pound story. Like, you just want to keep playing. You just load that joint up and watch it like it's a movie on YouTube, and you'll watch it straight up. I mean, you for you, Sin. It's a little extra because Superman's the bad guy. Like, it's a little extra.
Well, I enjoyed it a little bit more than everybody else because of that.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm so amped to see the Suicide Squad game?
Hey, Slim, why do I feel like, and again, that's coming this weekend, so we might have to just be on something this weekend, but like, why do I feel like you're not going to be the Suicide Squad the whole time? You're going to end up rocking with the Justice League, and they're going to end up having to help each other out. They're not killing Superman. That's not happening. They're not going to let them do it.
Yeah, is at one point, you know, when they showed
they're not
that,
be able to do it.
You know, when they showed that first initial glimpse of like that paper, like at first I was like, maybe that's not Supes, maybe that was like Bizarro or something. But then when they started, they released the others and like showed the rest of them. I was like, oh no, that is Supes. But like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna hit the nail on the head because I couldn't imagine that. I mean, it would be cool to play as, well, the Suicide Squad, but not if I'm gonna lose everybody by the end of the game. But
I mean, first of all, who do you think they're gonna put in the Suicide Squad? They can't not do Harley.
And Deadshot.
They gotta do Deadshot.
Yeah.
Who else? Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang. Yeah, Captain Boomerang.
Sound like a shoe-in, bro. All right, so does Killer Croc make the cut?
Either him or King Shark.
King Shark is a shark. King Shark is a shark. That's real. I don't.
Bronze Tiger, maybe.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, for real, they could just give you one character and be like, yeah, the rest of them are around you. You're not even rocking with them. Whatever it is they have in it. Man, listen, just give me Amanda Waller. I'm trying to get Amanda Waller with these hands out there in the streets.
Duh.
Put somebody down.
She'd be like that extra bonus character, like from like Tony Hawk back in the day, like the random person that just had no business being in the game at all, with like the best move set and everything, just for no reason at all.
Let me get Amanda Waller with a How to Get Away with Murder skin, yeah. It's a wrap. I'm in there.
Gotta get her with your snotty nose when she be crying.
Hey, straight up. Man. All right, look, man. It's 9:15. Let's get ready to wrap this up.
All right.
You know, listen, we appreciate all y'all jumping out here being okay. Hold on, there's a whole theory. Suicide Squad. Read that. What's that say?
My theory on the Suicide Squad game is they could possibly use this game to launch the other characters like Flash or Superman or Wonder Woman.
You mean like movie wise, or are you talking like?
Nah, I think game wise.
Game-wise?
And I actually
game.
understand that. I can see that happening. I mean, I can see that happening. I just think it's taking them so long to get this game off the ground
Yeah.
that I just, especially because they are also supposed to be talking about Quarter Owls
Yeah.
or Batman Nights this weekend. It's gonna be interesting.
Very
And-
interesting. Only thing I know is between those two games, one of them's gonna have to be, I would hope, launch window for PS5 and Xbox Series X, and then one's got to be like a little bit further down the road. Cause like I wouldn't want them games to like come out like within like a month of each other.
No, I don't think so. One of them is further along than the other one, most likely.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I don't think either one of them joints is coming out anytime soon.
No, I don't think they're gonna be launch window at all. No, at the earliest, I'd say holiday
March.
next year. Okay.
Nah, I think March. I mean, I think if nothing else, like both of those games are games that they have been talking about and teasing for like a year or more. So, and the rumors are that the Suicide Squad game had already been in production, and then it got moved to Rocksteady. Like apparently Monolith was doing it or something like that, and it got moved to Rocksteady. And apparently Rocksteady was working on something else. Which I don't know if that was Quarter Owls, but apparently they had to take over the Suicide Squad joint, which is why it has been so long. But
okay,
I do think that there is an opportunity to introduce those characters in a way that is not a fighting game. To, something else like this. You certainly could introduce them. I don't know if you'll get to use them or play as them. I just think all of them are too OP. But, we'll see how heavy they lean into Harley and how heavy they lean into Deadshot. I think that those two are probably the biggest. And I think, and I think Harley is if they, I wouldn't have been surprised if they weren't trying to get this out around the time the last Suicide Squad animated movie came out, or around when Birds of Prey came out. But I could certainly see them leaning into like having missions or something that involve like the Birds of Prey, or her having to go, deal with them. Like they could introduce a lot of different characters using this if they're careful with it.
Definitely.
I guess we'll see.
So
we'll find out this weekend, and we'll talk about it next week for sure.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, Sin, load up the patrons who are supporting us at the highest tier while I start running down the rigmarole so we can shut this show down. Listen, again, you have been watching cutscenes, which are the best part of the game, and we do this once a week, usually on Wednesdays, sometimes on Thursdays. Just depends on how things roll. We had to see what happens. Sometimes we're expecting special news on Thursdays, which for some reason Thursdays is like a special video game news day. Like I don't know what it is. But listen, you only got a couple days left. If you are interested in grabbing one of the shirts that we are doing, these are one-time shirts. The shirts are almost gone. Friday is the last day to do it. So if you haven't done it, if you intend to do it, now's the time. Outside of that, we are planning to do more breast cancer awareness shirts. Those will happen. They won't be these shirts specifically this time, but we're looking like mid-September, something like that, and all the proceeds will go to help breast cancer awareness. We also have Extra Life coming up, so since this is a video game show. Extra Life, we raised a lot of money last year. We had a great time. We will be streaming video games for 24 hours. That is November 7th. Unlike all of the years previous when we have done this, it is not daylight savings. We do not get an extra hour. We are going to actually be very sleepy. We will see how this goes this year. But hopefully we can top what we did last year. So keep your eyes open for that. We'll be talking about that in a few weeks coming as we gear up. We are continuing to work on Snacking and Hanging. That show is coming quite along. We're just playing some games, talking a little trash, having some fun. What did we play? River City Ransom. That was a pilot episode that we put that out for the patrons to see. It sounded pretty bad, so that won't ever make it for everybody else to see. But we just played Rainbow Six the other day. There's some moments in that. Some people cannot climb buildings. I just want y'all to know that.
It's been a while, all right? We're out of practice, all right? But I wasn't the only one that picked a phone. Just
You
saying.
weren't. I most certainly did as well.
Nah, you weren't the only one. You were not the only one. Not at all. Yeah, so yes, we got some games lined up. We try to break out of prison and escape. It's not. It doesn't last very long.
No.
So yeah, there's more of that coming. We're doing more and more snack bites. Jokes, you just got some chips, didn't you?
Yep. So I found the red hot chicken lays,
Nashville hot.
Hot, and then
Yeah.
the
street tacos.
street tacos. Yeah,
yeah,
found both of
Not
those.
even.
I don't
Not
remember.
even. And I got a little something I got to send y'all. We got a little something in the pocket, and y'all get ready because once again, yeah, we about to be eating these. Don't turn your back, Sin. Don't turn your back.
Oh, Sin, you doing this because you chickened out on doing that Pocky chip last year for Extra Life. That was supposed to be for the kids. That was supposed to be for the kids, and you didn't.
I'm
You
sorry
played.
on them kids, but I saw you dying in the corner, and I did not want.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You said you were going to do it if we got to a certain point, and you chickened
I will
out.
make it up to the kids this year. I'll make it up to the kids this year. Promise. It ain't gonna be no pocket chip.
I still have one of those Pocky chips too.
Don't nobody want your last year's pocket chip. Not eating those, bro. That's not happening.
Sin,
Yeah, it did almost kill you,
Sin
bruh.
is normally the one that brings the stale stuffs, but so this time I will bring the old
Facts.
Pocky chip.
Facts. Hey, listen. So the shirts are in process of being made. We actually had to go get more dye for the shirts because I'm gonna just keep it a buck. The shirts are moving. Like we're really almost out of shirts. So we had to go I had to make an emergency trip yesterday to go find extra dye. Let me tell y'all something. COVID is not a joke.
Dog.
Y'all think that COVID is really just like what y'all see on TV and politics or whatever? No, dog. Like that joint is making it so you can't get like regular. Like you shouldn't not be able to get dye to make tie-dye shirts. That's the
People at
thing.
home,
Like
stuck in the house.
when I tell you, I called like 9 stores and traveled
up the East Coast. You was going up the
because I
East Coast.
couldn't find it on Amazon. Couldn't find like nobody had it, bruh. And I just happened to call this random shop. And they were like, yeah. They said we got 4. So I was like, I want all 4 of them joints. When I went to the shop, they was like, yeah, we only got 2. And I was like, you lying. Give me them joints. You lying. And the lady was like, nah, it was a different color. It just looked a lot like this color. My manager said, man, get your manager. Get your manager. You just asked me for my email address. Y'all gonna be trying to send me something. Go get your manager because y'all told me y'all had 4. I drove all the way out here and had to pay for parking. Y'all better give me somebody. Get me somebody. As soon as the next joints come in, I need them. Yeah, so it's a little tricky, but we are working on getting those shirts as quickly as possible. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks. We'll see. And I'll be, some of y'all are close, man. So we might do some hand deliveries. You know what I mean? All right, so I think that's everything. Sin, run it down for me.
Of course, shout out to our top tier patrons, which is Tyrone Carson, Ellis, Miss Susan Dortch, Victoria Ford, and last but not least, Mr. Anthony Cunningham. We thank you all very much for supporting us at the top tier on Patreon.
It's real out there. Again, any of you can do the same thing. You can support us on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/loading snacks. It's pretty easy. Make sure you're following us across all socials. We're pretty active across most socials. Hey, you know what we're trying to do? We are like, I don't know, 1,000 or so folks away from hitting 10,000 followers on Instagram. If you see something there and you like it, man, share it, like it. Tell people to go there and follow us. That would honestly be so significant for us. Seriously. That would be so significant.
Yes.
We can break that 10,000. So please just tell other people. I don't care. Go to somebody who don't like none of the stuff we talk about. Just be like, hey, just go follow them. You know what I mean? They're sure to see something they like.
Someone they
don't
like.
Every now and again. Something they like.
Yeah.
We would greatly appreciate that. Yeah, Sin got a debt to pay. Yeesh.
No.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
No.
Hey, listen. I heard you was dressing as Superman for Halloween this year.
Who the fuck are you?
Yo, that's a bet right there. Hey, that's a bet right there. We got to do something for Extra Life. Man, me and you, if you lose, you dress as Superman. I don't know what you're going to have to figure out for me, but if you lose, you have to dress as Superman. I'm for that right there.
I just know yeah. I don't think I'm shaving again this year. But we gonna do some things for Extra Life.
That did some things for the kids with the shaving though. Like,
It did, man. It was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. I looked at it like a week and a half.
my man
but it
said
was
like,
I mean, we had to go. I do that this year. All
what,
the way.
shave your face?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. All that.
Eyebrows?
Gone. No, I do all of this. All of this.
Hey, listen,
All
hey,
of this
look,
again.
I'm trying to trap him real quick. You know, I'm trying to trap him real quick. I almost had him, yo. I almost had him. He was about to be like, yeah.
yeah, let's do it. Gotcha.
My man wasn't going to be surprised for like 2 weeks.
All this.
Straight up. Oh, man. Jerry, what up, man? All right, listen. Yeah, hey, listen. Hey, Jerry, I'm not even joking. Jerry, I almost called you in Cali. Straight up was like, do me a favor and look and tell me if you can find these joints. I will pay you to ship these joints to me because Amazon was supposed to ship them joints like last week. And now, U.S. Postal Service, we're not going to get into politics.
Yeah.
Now, there's no date. I don't know when the dye that we actually ordered is actually coming. So I was just like, I got to go find it. So I had to make a trip. It was cool. It's worth it because I love y'all and y'all are supporting us. And that is so awesome. So with that, we're going to wrap this up because for some reason cutscenes always goes for like an extra half an hour.
Hey.
So we're going to do just that.
Just gonna plan for
You
it,
know what I
man.
mean? You know what? Good conversations beget,
Hey.
you know,
Yeah.
well, you know, you just got to do
Yeah,
it.
having a good time.
Hold on. You got to grow the curl out. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, grow the curl out, man. Hey, no, bro.
Is that all?
Hey, Slim, let's perm your joint. Let's perm your joint for extra life. We hit a certain amount. Let's just perm the joint. Don't look at me like that.
It's not gonna be long enough, actually.
Yes, it will.
No.
If you don't do nothing to it between now and then. Hey, listen. He waiting for the guys to cut me off like they normally
He
do.
waiting. It ain't happening this time.
It's not happening.
Ain't like I haven't had it before, so.
I'm just saying. I mean, we'll find out. You see, he's squirming right now. He's squirming right now. I like that.
We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it off camera. We'll figure it out.
Oh, okay, sure. Let's do that. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody who jumped in. I see what you're saying, Jerry. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support from all of y'all. With that, we are out. Toodles and loose. What it do, snackers and snackettes? Did you like what you just saw? Would you like to help us grow? Here's what you can do. Shoot over to patreon.com/loading snacks. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice. Appreciate you.